the January 6th House Selection Committee, or House Select Committee rather, will be back at it again with another round of presentations. More than 20 million viewers tuned in to watch the first public hearings last week. The committee's been investigating the attack on the nation's capital and what led up to it for months. The hearing starts again tomorrow at 10 a.m. The panel is expected to release a full report on their findings in September. Joining me now is Todd, moderator of Meet the Press. Good morning, Chuck.
Hey, good morning.
With the January 6th hearing continuing tomorrow, what are the chances the evidence presented on Thursday or any future revelations will sway the Justice Department to take action against former President Trump and his allies?
I think it's quite possible. I mean, it's certainly clear to me that that's what this committee is headed towards. Make no mistake, they're outlining a couple of different criminal conspiracies, and they believe Donald Trump is at the center of both of them. One, more directly, the campaign to overturn the election, the pressure campaign on Mike Pence, the campaign to get alternative elector slates in the states, in the closest states that he lost. You know, we know about that phone call down in Georgia to the Secretary of State, find me those votes. All of that together, that's I think that's their strongest argument. That a crime was committed by the president. The second aspect of their conspiracy is this idea that he was the instigator of the January 6th attack. I think that's a tougher case to make because it's all circumstantial, but it was a pretty powerful moment when we saw at the end of the hearing on Thursday night, all those arrested insurrectionists say, statement after statement, I was there because Donald Trump asked me to be there. And so while that's a bit more circumstantial, it's certainly, you could certainly see a strong case being built on incitement there. So what will Merrick Garland do? And that's going to be, I think, if you think these hearings are a big political story, just wait till they have a criminal referral to the Attorney General. Will Biden's politically appointed Attorney General indict the former President of the United States? Gerald Ford pardoned Richard Nixon simply to avoid a public spectacle of a trial of a former president. I don't think Joe Biden's going to be pardoning Donald Trump, but that is going to be the decision that Merrick Garland's going to have to make here, and I think it's going to be one that will anger folks no matter what decision he makes.
Well, there are mixed reactions to whether these hearings will capture the attention of the nation, at least for very long. 20 million people watched Thursday night, but it appears like other issues like inflation are going to pull higher in importance, especially when people vote in the fall. So ultimately, will the public have the appetite to stay engaged?
Well, it all depends on what you're looking for politically as a result of these hearings. Anybody that looks at these hearings and thinks that there's some sort of midterm play here, I think's naive, and it's the wrong way to look at these hearings. You know, there's legal accountability and there's political accountability, don't get me wrong, but the political accountability that matters here is not whether Democrats do better or worse in the midterms, and that's a judgment on these hearings. It's about whether Donald Trump has more or less influence in the Republican Party. Is Donald Trump more likely to get the Republican nomination after these hearings are done or less likely? And the point being is, to me, that's another way of judging the effectiveness of these hearings. If they are making the case that he is unfit to ever hold elective office again, then do the voters agree? And if the voters agree with that, then I think in hindsight you can say these hearings did their job.
Okay, the hearing begins again tomorrow morning at 10. Thanks, Chuck. Meet the Press airs also at 10 right after 11 Alive Weekend Morning News.